Most people have a hard time loving themselves. Maybe that's you. But it's not because you're broken or unlovable. It's because you were taught to be critical of yourself instead of kind. Today I'm going to share with you how to express the love that's already a part of you towards yourself. And it's easier than you think. By the way, my name is Chris. I'm an emotional mastery coach. I'm here to give you the emotional education that we never got growing up by teaching you about your heart, your mind, and how to connect the two. I've helped dozens of people find self-love and consistent happiness and change their life in all kinds of cool ways by just understanding their emotions in a different way. So sit back, relax, and let's talk self-love for a little bit. By the way, I'm on a bike right now. I don't know if this is gonna be, hold on. I'm on a bike, it's hard to tell. But I'm just gonna chill on my bike ride and chat with you about self-love. First thing I wanna note is, why is it so hard to love yourself? It's because you learned that. You learned to be critical of yourself. You learned to be judgmental towards yourself. You learned to be mean to yourself. Sometimes we learn this really early as kids. This happens in many ways. You know, you might have had a parent or a guardian or friends who were super critical of you, who specifically were mean to you. And then you learned to do that to yourself. You started believing their criticisms and you started repeating them yourself as though they were true. Or you observed people who were mean to each other or critical of each other or critical to themselves. And then you learned and thought, oh, that's how we operate. That's how people are. That's how we should be. And then you start doing that for yourself. Either way, you picked it up. The point is, the reason it's hard to love yourself is because you were taught or you learned otherwise. And when you learn to be critical of yourself and judgy towards yourself, it's really hard to then love after a repeated, habitual, negative loop of self-criticism for sometimes years, sometimes decades. So the solution to that is to start, because it is a negative thought cycle, the solution to finding self-love and feeling self-love is to change the way you're thinking about yourself and about your life and about love. So I'm going to give you 3 ways to do that today. The first is to start identifying with your heart. Know your heart and identify with your heart. Know that you are your heart. That is the real you. The real you is your heart. I did a whole video on this. I'll put it at the end because it's related so that you could watch more in depth, because there are ways to prove that you are your heart. And I do that in the other video. But you are, at the end of the day, maybe I should say at the beginning of the day, when you're born, everyone is born a heart-centered person. You are born living as your heart. Kids are born, we all are, loving creatures, loving beings who are playful by nature, happy by nature. Sorry, I'm crossing a street. Playful by nature, happy by nature, fun-loving. All we want to do as kids is enjoy our life and love. Kids are not born hating. They're not born being super critical. They're not born feeling super insecure. That's stuff we have to learn. That's stuff we're taught. That's stuff we pick up along the way. But when you realize that you are your heart and your heart is the real you, it becomes easier to love yourself because you see yourself for who you truly are, not this mask of negatives that you've pointed out for years and years and years, not the mask of negatives that other people may have pointed out to you for years and years and years. You are your heart. That is you. That is the real you. And when you see that, understand that, resonate with that, it becomes easier to love you. The second piece is I want you to start redefining your definition of worthiness. You are worthy just for existing. You're already worthy of love and happiness. You're worthy of peace. You're worthy of the life that you want. And you don't have to do anything for it. A lot of us believe, again, because we were taught, that you do not deserve good things in your life, that you don't deserve happiness or love until you accomplish something, until you make something of your life, until you reach some certain goal or get someone's approval or do enough. But that's a flawed way to look at worthiness, and I want you to start seeing it differently. If you want me to do a video, by the way, on this, like I can go more in depth on this. I think worthiness is such a big topic. So if you want, leave a comment below and I'll make a video on worthiness specifically. But let me just say this. Everybody is born worthy. Every baby on this planet that's born is born worthy of love and worthy of happiness, worthy of a peaceful life, worthy of joy. We're all worthy. And that actually never changes. By the way, babies don't have to prove themselves worthy of love. They just are worthy. And in that same way, I want you to start redefining worthiness as something that just is. It just is. You don't have to earn it. You can't lose it. You just have it. And even if you've had a hard time seeing that, or even if you currently have a hard time seeing that, that doesn't mean that you're not worthy. It just means that you have a hard time seeing it right now. And learning things like this and starting to redefine worthiness in a different way than you've been taught is actually the way to start to shift it so that you can see it, so that you could see the truth that actually exists. So that's the second piece. The third thing I would say to develop a practice of self-love is to openly practice loving on purpose, intentionally. And what I mean by that is I want you to shine love on as many people as you can and shine love on as many things as you can. Do you love the family you have? Do you love the friends you have? Do you love the pets you have, the dogs and the cats in your life? Do you love certain things about you? Do you love certain things about your life? Do you love the people you work with? Do you love some of the people you work with? The more you can shine love outwardly on purpose, and if you could do that in a really regular way, you begin opening up what I would call your love circuit. You want to flow the energy of love and open that circuit within you. And the best way, and sometimes the easiest way, is to express it towards on the outside. Because especially if you have a history of not loving yourself, then start with people that you appreciate on the outside. Start with animals. Start with nature. Start with things that are easier to love and appreciate. And really exercise the muscle of loving period. And catch yourself when you're critical or judgmental of anyone. And start instead, if you can, this is a little bit more advanced, but you can do this. Instead of being critical of other people, even people who might do or say shitty things sometimes, try to just send them love and hope for the best. Hope that they find, because at the end of the day, what I think about is like, I just want everyone at the end of the day, I just hope that everyone can eventually find and connect with love and joy and peace. Because if they did, they wouldn't say shitty things and they wouldn't do shitty things if they were truly connected to their heart and to their love. So I hope for that. And instead of criticizing or judging people, I try to do that instead. And when you can just love from afar and just send love, like when you're driving around, send love to people. Like I'm riding my bike right now, and as people pass me, I could just send them love. I hope they're having a good day. I wish them happiness and love. Just do that little by little. And then as you open up your love circuit, once it's like amped up and buzzing and revving, start to direct it towards yourself. Start to, in little ways, direct that love energy, that love beam onto yourself. What do you love about yourself? What are things that you love about yourself? And then if you have trouble with that, remember the first two things I said. Because sometimes you might be listening and you might be like, oh, it's easy for me to love other people. What's hard for me is to love myself. Well, then go back to the first two things that I mentioned in this video. Go back to you are your heart. So when you look at yourself to love yourself, love your heart, because that is yourself. Love that you have a heart. Love that you have the ability to love in the first place. And know your worth. Understand your worth in a new way. Redefine your worth. Doing those things will change your life. They will open up your ability to express love and point it towards you. You deserve it. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to live the life you want. And you can absolutely do this as a self-practice. If you want more help with doing this as a self-practice, I have a free newsletter. It's in link below. It'll teach you how about your heart. It'll teach you about your mind, and it'll teach you how to start connecting them on purpose so that you can do this as a practice in your own life. And if you want further help on it, you can always check out my programs. I have coaching available, both solo coaching and group coaching, group classes. If that's of interest to you, if you want extra help or personalized guidance, I offer that too. Also link below. But you should do this yourself. Like watch these videos and then practice and let me know. Like comment below if you practice doing this. I'd love to hear if this gave you some insight, or if you start practicing this in the next day or two, how it feels and what your experience is with it. Share that below so that other people can get encouraged to do this too. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might be able to use a reminder like this. I think I'll wrap it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next video. And if you liked this video and want to hear more about the concept of you are your heart and how I prove that you are your heart, check out this video right here.